Okay, today we're having a look at the Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron, Outland, and TIE Fighter from the Mandalorian TV show. We'll go ahead and get right into it. Have a look at the stand first. It's just a simple little three-prong, frictionless stand. It's meant to look like the landing gear that folds out when the ship lands. Just kind of sits there. There's no, pegs or anything that these sit in. It just kind of gravity keeps it on there. There's the stand, and then obviously the main feature of the Outland tie is that the wings fold. So I'll show you that if you want to get a look at the mechanism right there. There's a little, it looks to be like a really well hidden little peg on each side that just allows it to pop into place like that. Works very, very well and hides away extremely well. I mean, that just looks like a normal TIE fighter. They did a fantastic job on this little feature. There's another look at it while it's moving. They pop into place. They wiggle a little bit, like that. So while you're handling it, it'll move. But I think that's definitely a good compromise to have the feature. A feature that cool. The wings still come off. And there's a peg with a little section cut out to let you know that, which way the wings go on and to keep them in place from moving too much. Have a look at the front here. Give you a look at the interior. Painted red guns. It's a more like metallic sort of silver look. Let me go ahead and pop off the wings. On the sides right here. Different than the standard one. Here's the back. This one has its actual twin-ion engines painted in. Definitely an improvement on the standard tie. The other one doesn't have those painted at all. But a feature that this one's missing is the little compartment here that comes back on the standard tie. We'll do a comparison here in a little bit and I'll show you. But I'll go ahead and show you the interior. Open your hatch. Get some light in there. There we go. There's your seat. Good visibility from the front. Definitely like that. We'll go ahead and move on to the Gideon figure himself. There's Giancarlo. You all know and love him. We'll go ahead and take his cape off. Cape's removable so he can sit in the fighter. It's just like a squishy plastic. Sort of like a rubberized plastic. There's the actual face sculpt. There's no actual painted details on the face, but the sculpt of the face, the mold, is actually, accurate enough that it gives you a really good idea of who this is, meant to represent. I think they've done a great job on this figure. Arms articulate. I found that it's difficult to articulate. It's more difficult to articulate his limbs than any other figure I've come across in this line so far. But the sculpt is great for how tiny this is. It is a pretty fantastic representation of this character. Let's go ahead and put him in the cockpit. If I can get it open. There we go. Fold up our man here. See if I can cram him in. His legs don't fold up too well, so he doesn't want to sit. But I'll cram him in there. And then there's a push button on the bottom, just like the other ties. This one is rightfully spring-loaded, so it doesn't, jiggle around while you're moving the ship and make an annoying jiggling sound. You push up, and there he is. This gives you an easier hold on him, so you can just pull him out like that. And there he goes. Do a little comparison between this and the standard tie. It's no bigger or smaller. It's about exactly the same size, which is definitely good because it'll blend in on the shelf very well. But you can see it's actually a different gray. The gray on this one has a little bit more of not a yellowish, but it's got definitely more of that sort of yellowish hue than this one. There's more of a bluish gray. I like the gray on this one better. There's a comparison of the seam. And then they show you the back. This one has painted engines, and this one doesn't, but it has little gray accents on the greeblies here that give it a little more definition. And of course this one has that engine feature that this one doesn't. But really, I'd sacrifice that because, you know, the feature on the back of this one doesn't really do anything for me, and I'd rather the engines were painted, you know? So if that's a sacrifice they have to make, I think it's a worthwhile sacrifice. But that's it for the toy itself. Let's have a look at the insert here. It's the troop transport and the ATRT. So that's a little strange, isn't it? The stormtroopers hanging out with, I guess the clone troopers were in service a lot longer than I thought they were. Because this would be, you know, when this was flying around, like, post-Return of the Jedi. So these clones would have to be, you know, 60 or 30-some-odd years old. But there's the insert there. Look at the box. There's your rare 1 of 15,000. Your Moff Gideon. Little instructions for how to insert him. Here's the back. It shows you the features. There's your little render of it. There's the rest. There's the other Chase variant I have yet to get my hands on. But that's it for the Outland TIE Fighter. Thank you for watching.